Today, I would like to demonstrate to you the new solution from the iQ family. This is PulseAI.iQ. It is an intelligent system for the analysis of events, logs, and transactions. The aim of the product is to understand what really happened with each transaction and automatically detect errors in each transaction and reduce manual labor for analysts, operators, engineers, and support staff. The PulseAI.iQ collects data from all sources: ATM, Payments.iQ server, and ABS. It takes all of this data, it brings it together, and then it interprets it, making sense of everything. And in doing so, it constructs a comprehensive transactional timeline. What this means is that we can now see the events that occurred during the transaction with a detailed breakdown by source. That is, specifically, the events at the ATM, then the events on the server, and the events from the ABS. And in this way, we can clearly see at what exact moment and in which specific source an error occurred within our system. There is a transaction list available with the capability to filter by successful transactions, by unsuccessful transactions, and also by the specific source of any errors. Additionally, we can once again filter the results based on the device. This means we can look at errors occurring within the ATM, errors on the payment server, or even communication errors related to the ABS system. Next, we'll proceed to the Transaction Analytics section. This is the most interesting tab where you can view the overall status of a transaction, along with all its relevant details, as well as a neural network's interpreted analysis of all events from every single source. That includes event analysis from the ATM, event analysis from the server, and event analysis that we receive from the ABS. Neural network is essentially gathering all of this information together, and then it proceeds to make sense of it, to interpret these events. So it constructs a detailed transaction timeline and then proceeds to describe all of this in a human-readable format, right? We receive a comprehensive storyline. This means we can clearly observe the precise moment when every single event occurred in a human-readable format and exactly what ultimately contributed to the error. And we also get to see what exactly happened with the funds. For example, whether the money was successfully dispensed or if the funds were correctly presented and displayed to the customer. And based on this, we can draw certain conclusions. What naturally should be done in disputed situations? Should we return the money to the client or open a dispute and investigate further? The analysis itself is performed by a neural network. For each transaction analysis, we can provide our feedback, thereby helping to improve the neural network. So to say whether this analysis was truly correct, or if there were any inaccuracies, then we can say that the analysis was not entirely correct and clarify what the inaccuracy was. This way, the system and artificial intelligence will be further trained so that in the future, under similar circumstances, it can provide a more accurate analysis. The iQ family represents a comprehensive ecosystem of products, and in cases where the situation is quite contentious, there's an opportunity to examine it. To get the information from a related system from ATMeye.iQ directly from the transaction analysis. We click on the button, View from ATMeye.iQ. We can see what was happening at that very moment during the transaction at the ATM. We can also view the video recording for further analysis. Additionally, if we determine that we need to initiate a dispute, we have a dedicated button for dispute creation, which then opens the dispute creation form. This form is filled out by operations specialists, cash collectors, and all other involved roles participating in dispute management. So, the software product PulseAI, by leveraging artificial intelligence, accelerates the processing of events and transactions within the payment system, thereby significantly reducing the time required to resolve disputes and other contentious situations, ultimately enhancing the overall customer experience.